used for more popular books that they just want to temporarily have a copy.
Flip your screen, TK. If you can.
Okay, we're live. We're ready?
Yes, we are.
Nah, Tony, you got to flip your screen.
There we go. Welcome to the TD Report. I'm your host, David Combs, here with South Beach Cody. How you doing, Cody?
What's going on, Dave?
We'll have Jody on in a second from the Midwest. To my right, everyone, we've got the victorious Tony Kennedy. Very excited about his Dallas Cowboys. So this is going to be one of my favorite shows, okay? As we all know,
hey,
Dallas Cowboys on Monday, the Dallas Cowboys handled very rudely the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road. Did them dirty.
This is the show that we're going to call I Told You So.
This is the I Told You So show.
That's what it is.
Hosted by the TD Report. So,
oh, Lord, that mercy. I just had to
let's talk to Cody first. Cody, this game, if it weren't for the 4 missed extra points by Brett Maher, the Cowboys played virtually a perfect game.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tom Brady lost that game more than the Cowboys won that game, but
wow.
But yeah,
you
lost your goddamn mind.
And you bring a good point up, Cody. Tom Brady's play seemed to be an issue. Going over to Jody Coleman. Welcome, Jody. Tom Brady didn't look good, man, on Monday.
Yeah,
he looked old.
I mean, he is old. I mean, we act like this guy is really not 45 years old. And if you look at the way that the team was constructed, I mean, we knew all season that this should have been his last season. We got to tip our hats to the Cowboys. I mean, they played an excellent game. I think they had a good game plan. But I think the reason why Byron Leftwich got fired is because they threw the ball over 60 times. Who are you going to beat throwing the ball over 60 times with a 45-year-old quarterback?
Mm-hmm. It's true. You know, I watched that game. I saw a couple of throws that concerned me. It looked like Brady was avoiding contact. On the interception in the end zone, he turned his back. You know, he threw it. Yeah. Well, listen.
Avoid everything at all costs.
If you're avoiding hits like that, you shouldn't be on the field. I mean, I don't care who you are, right?
Hey, you know how bad it got to be at home where he wanted to be on the field and not take a hit? I'm just saying.
I mean, it was almost surreal how Dallas played. And we're going to give everybody here, other than Tony, we're going to give Dak Prescott some props. His best game as a pro playing in the playoffs. What is that? 4 touchdowns passing and 1 running. Is that right? Or is it 3 and 1? It was 4 and 1. He looked great. Now, I will say this. His receivers made plays like professional receivers are supposed to make plays. Whether it was CeeDee Lamb making a tough play on a ball over the middle. Usually what that does is it hits CeeDee Lamb in the hands and pops up in the air and it gets picked off. And Dak has to take the hit for it. But Dak Prescott deserves some applause. Tony, take it away.
Okay. First of all, when y'all were talking about what they were going to do, Tom Brady just 2 weeks ago threw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. So what are we talking about? How he's old. It had a whole lot to do with defense. When y'all said the grass, I told you Bermuda grass in 80-degree weather is better than turf. Told you the grass didn't matter down there because Dallas showed y'all the grass wasn't a problem when they played Jacksonville a couple weeks ago.
Didn't they lose that game?
Second, the pressure up the middle. They did lose that game, but they lost that game to the youngest quarterback in the NFL who actually did a better job, and Dak turned it over. We had turnovers in that game. We didn't have no turnovers in this game. I told you what the defense was going to do. I told you they were going to pressure Brady up the middle. I told you they were going to stop the run game, and I told you it wasn't going to be close. That's what I said this game was going to be. It happened exactly like I said it would happen.
I mean, it wasn't really hard to stop that run game. They only rushed like 4 times.
But it doesn't matter. When you're down 28 points or you're down 24 points, you're not going to run. I don't know where we got to count the number of runs. That's stupid.
What do you mean?
I was only saying that because you just said that you stopped the run game.
Yeah, we stopped the run game when it's a game.
I said it wasn't. Run game, all I said it wasn't hard to do that. They only ran 5 times. That's all.
Right.
Now they become one-dimensional. I mean,
they did that on
their own. It's not that hard.
That had nothing to do with what Cody is saying, and I agree with him here, Tony. If you only ran the ball 5 times, okay, less than 6. I mean, they dropped back to pass. They threw 66 passes.
How many passes did they throw in the second half? When they started that game off, they tried to run that ball up the middle, those first 2 possessions, and they couldn't get shit. So they
scrapped it.
They went
and they scrapped it and tried to throw. They tried to throw their way.
The little running back, and I told you, Lenny need to stay his ass out of 5 guys because his ass playoff Lenny and all this other crap. That was complete and utter domination. And if you guys want to keep
Lenny only had 5 attempts.
That's fine. If you guys want to think that they're not good, here's the thing. I'm cheering for the Eagles because I want the Eagles to win. Because when Dallas wins, I don't want to hear them, you got to play the Giants at home. This and that. I'm going to go right into Philly and smack them upside their damn head.
So stop, Tony. So you just basically going to disregard the San Francisco 49ers like y'all ain't about to play them at Kansas.
San Francisco been playing the schedule like TCU. They ain't playing nobody.
So you really think that they going to beat San Francisco?
Yep.
Speaking on that, let's make these picks. Right now, Jody, you're sitting at 15 points. You got 3 correct out of the first round. Dave, you're sitting at 15, tied with him with the same 3. I'm sitting at 10 because I tried to take a risk on those Dolphins who almost pulled it off. And then, Tony, you're at 20 because you lucked out with your boys.
He's at 20?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I told y'all.
So he's ahead.
So he got 4 right. He got 4 right. You 2 got 3, and I got 2. So this next round is worth 10 points each.
Okay. We ready?
We ready.
TK, you're first.
So I got Dallas and Philly.
You got Dallas. You got Dallas, and you got Philly in the NFC. Who do you have in the AFC?
AFC.
Hold on. Let me pull this back up. I need to have it in front of me so I'm not getting
mixed up here. I hate picking against my boy.
We got.
I hate picking against the best quarterback in football.
You're out.
Joe B. Joe Cool.
He better than Mahomes now. So now he better than Mahomes.
All right. So the first game we're doing is the Cowboys San Francisco game.
Okay.
I already know who y'all got. You can put it down. Everybody got San Francisco. I got Dallas.
Right.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I think San Francisco is going to run this ball right down Dallas's throat.
Yep.
Okay.
And so again, these are all worth 10 points this round. So next game, let's look at Buffalo, Cincinnati.
Ooh, what do you think, Jody?
Buffalo.
Okay, Cody.
I'm going Cincy.
Wow. Okay.
The way that rookie quarterback in Miami, and Buffalo did that to them. And almost was able to do that. I think Joe Burrow and them boys are going to come out here and show off.
Wow. TK?
I got to go Buffalo because Cincinnati's offense only hurt.
Wait a minute. You're going to go against Joe Burrow?
He just said.
Only reason why I'm going against Joe Burrow is because they got the Super Bowl loser jinx. And they can't make it back to the Super Bowl. It doesn't happen unless it's Brady.
It's not the Super Bowl. They would only be going to the AFC Championship game. What are you talking about?
But
they got plenty of time to lose.
You gotta lose somewhere.
Yeah,
I don't.
Okay.
I don't think they're gonna make it.
Who you going with, Dave?
My Super Bowl pick was Buffalo. I'm gonna ride it till the wheels fall off.
Okay. All right.
By the way, I've been consistently saying that it was going to be a Buffalo Philly Super Bowl. I've been saying that since week 1. So I ain't gonna stop now.
Well, let's jump there. New York or Philly? Who you got?
I got Philly. My Super Bowl.
Right.
My Super Bowl is still intact.
Right. I'm taking New York on that. I think they got the better coach.
Wow. You're saying better coach?
Yeah, I think so.
Better coach than Nick Sirianni?
Yes.
Yeah, he Dable is good, dude.
More with less? Okay. So what you're telling me this, and then Cody, is that the Wink Martindale is going to put a gem of a defensive effort out. He's gonna scheme the hell out of this one.
Yeah,
He's gonna shut one of the best running teams in the league down. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and it's more of a matter of matching, I think. I got Saquon going off. I got these boys playing on both sides of the ball.
Okay.
It's a division game for one, so it always plays different.
I'm gonna love that.
And usually those division games, I think, rely heavy on the coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think Dayball's that better coach, man. So I'm going New York.
Let's do it. Is that everybody? Jody, who'd you get?
Man, I got Philly, man. Danny Dine about to turn to Danny Pennies in a minute, man. Come on.
Oh.
He ain't gonna hold on. He ain't gonna throw it. He's gonna run.
You know what? I'm gonna cheer for Philly, but I'm gonna take the Giants.
Taking New York.
Okay.
All right, last we got Jacksonville and Philly. What's up, Jody?
Jacksonville.
I mean, I'm sorry, Kansas City. Kansas City.
KC.
Listen, without a doubt, man. Patrick, when are they giving Patrick Mahomes an MVP? I'm waiting.
KC.
They already sent it. They already mailed it.
That's KC across the board. Oh,
KC across the board.
Wins this game.
I'm not.
That's the
Honestly,
only one we got KC across the board.
Stone cold lead pipe lock.
I think Mahomes is just too young, and Andy Reid ain't gonna get 4 interceptions and blow a 27-0 lead. There's no way. No,
that ain't.
You mean Lawrence is too young?
No, I'm saying Lawrence too young, but I said Andy Reid ain't gonna get 4 picks and find a way to lose that game. Like we have never seen. We have never seen Andy Reid. If you really think about it, have we ever seen Andy Reid blow a lead?
No. The only way to beat an Andy Reid team is you have to shut his offense down, and he's normally going to score 26, 27 points, and he scores 9. Good luck with that.
Right.
Good luck with that. Mahomes is playing on such another level, guys. We're seeing something that we've never seen before, from a young quarterback. But what's interesting is I think it was NFL Network put something out that they were talking about how he's about to pass Kurt Warner in terms of passing yards or something ridiculous. He's going to pass somebody that's pretty good in passing yards, and he's only 27. Well, Kurt Warner's first start in the NFL he was 28. That shows how much Kurt Warner did after the age of 28, and Pat Mahomes has already done that, and he's just 27. It's absolutely incredible.
What I will put in perspective, Dave, because I've been doing a lot on these quarterback comparisons of Kurt Warner and Donovan McNabb. Kurt Warner still played 13 years in the NFL.
After the age of his first start was at 28, but yes, 13 years.
No, I'm sorry, 12 years. He played 12 years.
12 years. But see what I'm saying? You don't have to be a phenom from the time you get to the league at 24. This guy, Kurt Warner was stocking shelves until he was 24, 25. And got himself a job, won a Super Bowl.
That's what gave him the Hall of Fame now, because if he would have came in and been a regular quarterback at 22, because this is one quarterback in the Hall of Fame, and I don't think no other quarterback in the Hall of Fame got beat out twice for their starting job. I don't know any quarterback in the Hall of Fame that got beat out twice for their starting job. But we don't want to talk about that, though. Let's move on. I get it.
Okay, I get it. So let's talk about some things that happened around the league. Talking about the Tampa game, a couple of days afterwards, Tampa Bay Buccaneers fired offensive coordinator. Hold on. Warren Prescott. Would like to know what you guys think about the Lamar Jackson situation. I learned he's representing himself. That can't be good. How do you think it will play out? Hey, Warren Prescott, that's my boy from UVA. Hey, man, thanks for joining us. He's a college friend of mine. Listen, Warren, what we on the show think, I'm going to give my perspective and the rest of the guys are going to give theirs. I'm okay with Lamar Jackson not having an established agent. I'm okay with it. But what I will say is this. I think some developments have just happened in Baltimore with Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator, being fired, that are going to make inroads to keep Lamar Jackson in Baltimore long term. What do you think about that, Tony? I think things are brighter depending on who this hire is at offensive coordinator. What do you think?
Jody, what was the day that Deshaun Watson got his deal?
I think it was like March. What was it, Cody? Like March
13, it was
14.
It was before the draft, right?
Yeah, I
it was
think
before
like
the draft.
March.
It was
Right before the
So
draft.
Cody
Yep.
goes and pull up the vote on this. I don't like to be. I hate being Nick Radamas, but Cody go pull up that, and I told them that was a chess move. Cleveland signed him because they needed a quarterback, but Cleveland signed him to screw the Ravens and Cincinnati. So, folks, understand something. When you Dallas, Washington, Giants, whatever, you can't worry about San Francisco. You can't worry about Atlanta. The first thing you have to worry about are the teams in your division. Okay, so the teams in your division are who you worry about first. Then you can get outside of that. So what Cleveland did is they understood when they gave him all that money, they looked at the Ravens roster and said, well, you know what? They're going to have to sign some people. They're going to have to do something. We could kind of blow up their cap or mess with them a little bit by putting our guy and signing them for a lot of money. I said that then. So we don't want to go because anybody want to call on the show, Cody can pull up the tape. And when I said it, it was a chess move. So now that you know it's a chess move, what are you going to do? Lamar needs proper representation. Well,
Okay.
Listen,
I think this is going to get ugly. I really do.
know a lot.
I mean,
and I
they're
know a lot
saying
about listening contracts. You cannot do his deal unless you understand all the ins and outs about these contracts, because there's certain things that you can put in that contract. It may not look like it's a bunch of money now, but it's all kinds of money. And the NFLPA helps those guys out on their contracts to make sure that they're following the rules per union. But when you start talking about getting $1 more more than Deshaun Watson, how are we going to get to that point? And work with our capologists and make sure how many years do we want? What is can we buy back? Can we help out the team? How does that work out? Because remember, when you don't have representation, the only thing that's the Ravens ain't going to help you. That's like if you got money and you go to court and you and your woman getting a divorce. If she got great representation and you don't, that lawyer is a professional for
That's
a
different.
reason.
That's different. That's different.
How's it, Jody? In this line of business, I know a lot, and I've seen the contract. JB has pulled up all his contracts. Those contracts, I don't care how you do it, is the reason why people are professionals and doing what they do. There is a reason. See, we get in society and we start disrespecting professionals. And believe me, I don't like none of those agents. But those agents are there for a reason, to protect that client. But they're there to make money also. But they're there to protect you on your side. His mama, who's making mac and cheese, can't do no goddamn contract.
No. And that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Like, I agree with you, Tony. And I think it's not even going to get that detailed. I think it's going to get ugly. They're saying that they're going to franchise him regardless if they don't work out a deal. I'm a little hesitant to say, but I kind of see like a holdout situation coming up.
What do you think, Jody?
I got to disagree, and my man Warren, man, this is my perspective on it, and I'm disagreeing with Tony and Cody for this aspect, because I don't give a damn if a snail was representing Patrick Mahomes, the deal would have got done. If Joe Montana was in the league, I don't care who was representing him, the deal would have got done. You know why? Because they believe in him. They don't believe in Lamar Jackson. They don't. This man has won an MVP. This man has changed his game. Y'all said he couldn't throw in the pocket. He threw in the pocket. You said this man couldn't throw outside the pocket. He threw outside the pocket. He's been getting doubted since he was in the 6th grade. He's proved everybody wrong. And this ain't got nothing to do with his mama. This ain't. And I will agree with Cody and Tony about being professional. I understand, and I don't want to disrespect anybody's profession. But if they believe in him, it wouldn't matter.
But they don't. That's my point.
Because Cody, they done put deals on the table. He just didn't take them. So if he would have took the deal, and his mom was representing,
he's got a number that he wants, and they're not coming to that number.
Now,
And so
now,
they're saying if they don't agree to it, basically is what they're saying is, and what they put out today is, if Lamar Jackson doesn't budge on this number, they're going to franchise tag.
And that's my point. If they believed in him, Dave, if they believe in Lamar Jackson, they would give him what he asked for. Because I'm gonna put it like this: if Burrows put that number out there next year, I bet you Cincinnati match. I don't care if he getting represented by a toenail.
And let's pivot. Let's pivot on that. Roquan Smith, who just got his deal, he is self-represented. Okay, his mama was basically representing him too. Same. Now, granted, they're not paying the same amount of money, but they're paying less money. But what I'm saying is, Lamar Jackson being represented by his mother. I'll give you.
I agree, Dave. That my thing is, like, I agree with Tony. I think that he should have an agent, but I don't think that's what's messing him up right now. I think the fact I think regardless of who's representing him, he deserves the money that he's asking for. Mm-hmm. I just don't think it's going to get to that point. I think if they're not willing to give him that money off Bucks and right away, this negotiation is pointless. They're trying to give him less, meaning they don't believe he's worth that. And I don't think he's going to play under a franchise tag.
They're tripping over the guaranteed piece. He wants a fully guaranteed deal, which, in my opinion, the type of way that he plays and the position he plays, I don't see him getting that. That's all I'm saying.
Dave, listen, I'm tired of that narrative. They don't believe in him, period. Because guess what? Guess who played reckless like that? Josh Allen plays more reckless than Lamar Jackson. He plays more reckless than Lamar Jackson. And guess
the backup quarterback plays like that.
Right. And Cody, they signed Josh Allen 2 years ago. Josh Allen ain't won no MVP. Josh Allen ain't won no Super Bowl, but they signed him because they believed in him. Lamar Jackson was an MVP after his second season. You could have nailed him down after his third season, and y'all didn't. Every time he did something, they moved the damn goalposts on him. They moved the goddamn goalposts on him. I don't give a damn who is representing him. I'm sick of this narrative of his mama doing it. It's other people's Hasselback's mama representing him, and he got every deal.
Mm-hmm. Got a point.
So what
Let's talk about.
So even so, now if they don't believe in him, he's going to need proper representation to go find the right team that he needs to go to.
Now I will say that.
So he's going to need proper representation. See, here's what people don't understand is that these agents and these general managers and these player personnel, they all play golf together. Okay, so they're doing their job, which is a hard job. Let them do their job. That's what you hired them for. Because it may be a team that we don't know trying to get rid of their quarterback, and it may be an inside three-way trade that could get done and put them in the right position. If the Ravens don't, listen, you saw the list that we sent over. The Ravens don't want them, and the Ravens don't come to a deal. I only think it's one place Lamar wants to be, and that's Miami. So you want to go back.
So I got a question. For everybody on the panel. The question is this: if he goes to another team and he gets the number he asked for, guess who's gonna still be representing?
His mom.
Well, you don't. That's what I'm telling you. He may get an agent when it comes down to him trying to go to another team, because I don't see Lamar's mom calling around all these damn teams.
But they don't have
the other teams are going to be calling them.
Right.
But come on. He's going to have options to get out of Baltimore. He's going to have options.
My point is, in this line of business.
Yeah, but are they going to work the leverage in the right way?
You need to be represented and do it the correct way to try to find the best deal for yourself.
Hold on.
You can go keep trying. Yeah, that's the correct way.
What you mean correct way, Tony? Like what?
The correct way
is they way. That's what you mean.
Jody, you don't know all those people. You don't know all those GMs. You can't even name all the player personnel. Do you know where their mama went to school? Do you know where their son go to school? Do you know where their daughters go to school? You don't know them. So if you don't know them, you know the reason why you don't know them? Because it's not your job to know them. It's your job to play football. It's your job to make money on that field. Let the other people do their job. I'm telling you, this thing here
It's a
has made
distraction.
everybody think that they can do everything. No, you can't. There's a reason why you have to go to school. There's a reason why you have to study and have to pass a test to be an agent, because you're going to miss something, and you're going to miss something really, really big that you need that may hurt you in the contract year 3, year 4, year 5.
And I agree with that. But all I'm saying is this: when you say do it the right way, it's amazing that their way is the right way. Like,
Well,
if that was the case, why is other people getting represented by people that never represent anybody in their life? Master P never represented anybody in his life, and he represented mad athletes. He never did it.
Who is they?
Successful.
What are you talking about? They? I don't understand.
No, I'm
the
saying
they.
you said
Master
they.
P went to college.
Where
Master P went to college for that shit though too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just listen. I'm a big proponent because I can see that people can miss stuff, and if the reason why I think this, pull up the story of TLC and look at what happened to them when they wanted to be whatever.
When you talk about music management and music agents, it's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah.
It's the same people, the CAAs and the William Morris.
But there's a lot more that you're dealing with, because you're dealing with music rights and character rights, which are different. It's a different combination. There's a lot more ways that an agent can be greedy and get greedy in music than they can in the NFL.
Because they have a union here. But
Right.
What I'm saying is, when you don't, in other words, when you don't, if you don't believe me, go speed in the state of Virginia and go 20 miles over and go in that courtroom without a lawyer versus going in there with a lawyer. It's a whole
No, thank you.
ball game.
No, thank you.
But you keep
Ain't no way.
ball game.
That's a good way to get yourself messed up.
What I don't do is lessen their profession. Now, I'm not a proponent of having agents or making them paid or getting them paid. I'm not a
Thanks, Warren.
proponent, but I'm a proponent in making sure that you do it the correct way, which means you got backup. You mean you got people looking at that contract who do that for a living. I will send you the NIL contract that I've been working on for 4 or 5 months with these damn lawyers.
I mean, it's a professional versus non-professional. I mean, there's plenty of comparisons we can do that wouldn't be exact, but that obviously makes sense. I mean, you put somebody who plays JV football in an NFL professional game. I mean,
Right.
you know,
You're gonna get killed.
You're going to be able to see the difference. They may be able to keep up. They may be able to play some ball, but you're definitely going to be able to see a difference. You know what I'm saying?
We could have got a JV kicker to kick the extra point. He was good, but he don't know the rest of the shit. I mean, and don't get me wrong. What Jody is saying is that your first contract, technically, you really don't need an agent because everything is slotted.
It's slotted.
And Jody is right on that. You don't need an agent. You actually can represent yourself on your first deal because everything is slotted. We're talking about between $10,000 and $20,000. The union got your back. But when you start getting to your second and your third year,
$300 million.
sometimes if you got an agent, your agent has hit 10 teams and they say, hold up, don't sign right here because I got another team that's biting and they're going to give you 3 times more than this other team is going to get because I know he wants you and he may move jobs. Those are the type of things. You don't see that because you're playing football. You can't know that. You just don't know that. Those people have that tight-knit shit for a reason. They know what they're doing.
I got one question before we move to the next topic, and I want everybody to please sound off. If Tom Brady was in his prime and he became a free agent and he didn't have an agent, you don't think that he would get the whatever price after he done won 2 or 3 Super Bowls? Tom Brady at his height, Peyton Manning at his height, even without a representation, you think he would still get the numbers that he asked for?
Do I think he would get the numbers that he asked for?
Honestly,
not in New England.
I'm talking about period. I'm talking about
anywhere, but anywhere.
I don't think it would have been structured the same.
No, because if you talk about dealing with New England and Pittsburgh and those teams, and dealing with greedy ass Dallas, hell no.
He would have still got.
That's why he
paid,
had representation.
But
that's why he had representation because Tom Brady was on that level. He got 3 deals. Manning and them got deals. Why did they have representation? And you're right, Jody, because Tom Brady and Manning wouldn't have really need representation.
That's
but
all
they
I'm saying.
did it.
That's all I'm
You know why they did it, Jody? Because they know that those owners are snakes.
Right.
And they're going to find a way to get that money and make you play and get less money. And those agents' job is to go pick.
Or
pick,
find a way
pick,
to work
pick.
something to where it ain't covered.
And see,
And
Mhm.
I'm agreeing with y'all on that. All I was saying, and I guess the perspective I'm coming from, is that they believe in them. That's where I'm coming from.
That's a good point.
They
And-
believe in them.
I
You
believe.
think- you
know
think the
what?
Ravens
The
do?
more I listen to Jody, the more I'm starting to,
oh, you
I
think
see
the
what you're
Ravens
saying.
believe in it?
I don't think so. And the reason
Yeah,
why, Cody, reason why I don't think they, because when
No,
you
I
look
don't
at,
either. I thought you said they did. That's why I
oh
was
no,
like,
no,
whoa,
no,
wait,
no,
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 yeah.
okay, all right.
Not at all. Yeah.
The
not
word coming out of the Ravens front office today is that they believe in him and that they want to move forward. We don't know if that's lip service.
If they
It is.
believed in him, they'd pay him. They wouldn't come
Right,
out and say,
exactly.
if we don't agree to a
Which,
deal, we're going to franchise him. That
so-
is telling me that they don't agree.
I think you guys have all made good points here, and honestly, I'm starting to come more to Jody's belief. The belief trail is that if they believed in him, maybe they would have given him the money already, or they would have been able to sit down. Now, a lot's going to happen between now and the draft. You might see a deal. The draft is in April or something like that. You might see a deal in February, March, or something like that. But right now, the iron is so hot and the coaching carousel is moving. So, as I mentioned, Baltimore fired their offensive coordinator, Greg Roman. That just came down, 6 hours ago, something like that. Yeah, this just happened. So, a lot could be riding on this hire as far as the offensive coordinator. Greg Roman's one of the heaviest run-heavy guys, and his system is set up for running backs and tight ends to make the catches, okay? And it doesn't help the wide receivers. The wideouts don't get the long passes, the vertical routes. Go ahead, Cody.
Guys.
What you got?
Yeah. I'll keep monitoring. No, I got to jump
Oh,
off.
you're going to monitor?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll be back. Yep.
All right. So let's talk about the coaching carousel. Tampa Bay Buccaneers officially fired offensive coordinator Byron Leftwich. Why does this bother me? 4 years ago, Byron Leftwich is one of the hottest coordinators in the league on the head coach track. And that was before he won a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay, coordinating that offense that got a Super Bowl championship for Tom Brady in Tampa. He's fired. So now, where do we go from here for Byron Leftwich? There's an opening here in Washington. He's a local guy. I don't think he'll get the job, but it almost seems just too right for him. What do you think, Tony?
I give it to Jody because I don't even want to. Jody, whatever
pass.
Jody say, I know I'm backing right what he said because
Tony passed on that one. Go ahead.
We looked at each other
Hey.
and we thinking the same thing.
Listen, the first and foremost, Leftwich actually went to the playoffs. Didn't he just go to the playoffs? He has not missed the playoffs in 3 seasons. He has not missed the playoffs in 3 seasons. He has a Super Bowl championship under his belt. But you want to you fire him. But Kellen Moore, who missed the playoffs several years, is up for head coaching jobs. Dan Campbell got a head coaching job. What did he do? Zach Taylor, if Zach Taylor didn't get Joe Burrow, he would be trash. But guess what?
He'd be fired by now. He'd be fired by now without Joe Burrow.
But he got opportunity after opportunity. Josh McDaniels at head coach sucks, but he's getting another opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, me and Tony are gonna think alike. And I don't want to be this guy. I don't want to be this guy. But he's an African American, and I can't unsee who he is. I can't unsee that African American coaches don't get an opportunity in this league, and if they do get one, it's only one.
Mm-hmm.
It's no way in hell that he should have been fired when you got Tom Brady, who changes 80% of the plays. He changes, and who gonna tell Tom Brady not to change the play? He got seven Super Bowls. We know the offensive line was trash. We know that the running game, Leonard Fournette probably should have got cut in the offseason. You see what I'm saying? But this guy is getting fired after just winning the Super Bowl just 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Should have got the head coaching opportunity, but you keep giving these other guys O'Connell. O'Connell gets to the playoffs and get dismantled against the Giants. His quarterback It's 4th and 8. His quarterback did a 3-yard check down.
Hey, that's Kirk Cousins.
But do you understand where I'm going with this? We got all these other guys that get opportunity after opportunity to fall on their face, but African Americans have to be perfect at all damn times, and I'm sick of it.
It's the John Thompson. John Thompson used to say what he was sick of was, why do I have to be perfect to get why does the black guy have to be perfect to get the job? Jody, I agree with you on your sentiments there. Tony, are you agreeing with Jody?
Jody spoke for me, dog. I don't even need to go into it. It's waste of.
All right. So Byron Leftwich, he's out and he's available. There's a bunch of open jobs right now as far as offensive coordinator positions. But right now, the belle of the ball, obviously, is the head coaching, future of Sean Payton, former New Orleans Saints head coach, Super Bowl winning coach, and architect of some amazing offenses. Mainly, headed up by Drew Brees in New Orleans. Should have made it to the Super Bowl twice. Okay, he got jobbed up.
3 or 4.
Should have been 4 times.
Yeah, he should have.
Yeah.
Well, the most recent one that he missed, he got dogged out on a call that on a pass interference that they should have. Never mind. But you get the point. He is basically now being valued where he's potentially asking for a 4-year deal. $20 million is what he's looking for, and it's going to cost. What is it going to cost? Is it a first and a third, or is it? Yeah, it's a first and a third. And they're not going to. And here's the thing: the New Orleans Saints right now, the Carolina Panthers need a head coach, and they're said to be where he's interviewing. Sean Payton would interview with them. There's no way that the Saints trade Sean Payton within the division. Not going to happen. Not for a first and a third. Not even for 2 firsts.
So Dave, can I tell you what a good friend told me when I was like, you know what? If we do this game, we're gonna get rid of my man, and we're gonna go get Sean Payton.
Okay.
So a good friend sent me the thing, and I looked at it. And you ever seen that thing where they got the person's head on, and then they pull it off, and then somebody else? Mike McCarthy is Sean Payton. They're the same people, same record, same everything. Hall of Fame quarterback, got 1 Super Bowl. It's the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm acting like this dude has been to a billion championships and has won all this. I'm not giving no first round for him. I'm not paying him $20-something million because all the assistance that he has, that is what makes you. So go out and go get some assistance. But I'm not giving him a first round pick for this dude to come coach me. And and then hope New Orleans get better and get this draft deep. I'm not giving him my first round for him. He's crazy as hell. He is Mike McCarthy.
What are you guys handicapping the possibility of Sean Payton ending up somewhere like Denver? What do you think about that?
I don't necessarily think he can go to Denver if the compensation, because they don't have any first round picks. So he wouldn't be able to go to Denver because remember they gave their first round picks to Seattle.
They're gonna have to give 2. They'll probably have to give 2/3, 2 seconds, or
they don't
something.
have them.
Or
remember,
something.
They gave up so much. They gave up so much for Russell Wilson that they don't have any compensation. The problem, I agree with Tony on that. Like, I like Sean Payton as a coach, but you only got 1 Super Bowl and you had it with Drew Brees. And it was amazing how you stepped down right when Drew Brees' arm turned into a noodle. You stepped down very conveniently. And if you go around the league and you see coaches that happen to step down, they the one that start the fire and then walk out the fire, and then they call the fire department. Like, hey, it's a fire over here. But I got everybody out to safety. That's what Sean Payton did to New Orleans. He set the fire. And this is
stupid Jody.
Hey, listen to me on this real quick. The New Orleans Saints has the longest drought for drafting the first round quarterback. They have not drafted a first round quarterback since 1971, Archie Manning.
Hold on. Archie Manning has grandchildren now.
He got
his grandson is in college.
That's about to come to the league in about 2 years. So what I'm saying
is insane.
What I'm saying is they had plenty of opportunity when they knew Drew Brees' arm was turned. His arm didn't just turn into a noodle. You see that he couldn't make the deep passes when he was getting later on his career? Why didn't you draft a quarterback to be his successor? Because Peyton went, guess what? Sean Payton wanted to take them first round picks to add to that defense and go for the gusto. And when it didn't happen, when they got holes on, they did get holes on the call. They got holes on that Hail Mary to Stephon Diggs. But guess what? That's life. You didn't win.
You know what? You know what we deal with? You know, we all grew up in households where our family knew how to stretch a dollar. When you got down to the end of that, tube of toothpaste, and you sitting there squeezing, your mom say, "Stop playing. Cut it up the middle.
You better
get all that toothpaste up out of there. You better not throw it away.
You better know it.
You better not. What you doing? I'm throwing this away. No, you not.
You better put some water in it.
You better put some water in that cereal. You know, listen, I see what Sean Payton was doing. He was making, you know what he was doing? He was making that ghetto spaghetti. That's what he was doing. You know what I'm talking about? With the ground beef and then the ramen noodles in a seasoning packet. He said, "This is how you feed 6 jokers with $2. But you better get you some Doritos with that and put them over the crunch them up. Put them over the
hamburger. You get the hamburger helper without the hamburger.
Hey man,
my boy Ted called Hamburger Help Me.
I ain't gonna lie. God rest her soul. My mom used to do that sometimes. She would make she would call it that ghetto spaghetti. Man, that joint was good as a mug. It'd be hitting. It'd be hitting. You know what I'm saying? It would hold you down in the wintertime.
But Dave, there's no coach on this planet that's worth $20 million. Not to mention there's no coach on this planet worth a first and a third round pick. And I'm gonna tell you, even Bill Belichick, because Bill Belichick is not a genius without Tom Brady. Sean Payton is not a genius without Drew Brees.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? What's the guy over in Green Bay? Who's the coach over here? I forget his name. The young guy. Came from Tennessee. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Well, guess what? He has a great winning percentage because you had Aaron Rodgers. So I'm not saying that you got to go and not get a quarterback, but it's awfully ironic how successful you are with a first round or a generational talent.
Matt LaFleur.
I'm sorry. Thank you. But so the point I'm trying to make is we keep trying to give all this credit to these head coaches like they changing culture. But I've never seen somebody go to a team and change the culture without a quarterback except for Joe Gibbs.
You know, that's a great point, and you pivoted on that. I was going to say about these guys that, you know, depend on that one quarterback. They're not Joe Gibbs. Joe Gibbs, it almost didn't matter who he got. If he could get a quarterback that could get him to a Super Bowl, he got him there. Okay, and there's a reason for that. 3 different Super Bowl championships with 3 different quarterbacks, and each one had a different running back.
It really 4, because if you count Jay Schrader, who played majority of that season at 87, him and Doug Williams split time. They
split time. That's right. You know, I look at the way that the system is working these days, the way that the coaching and the quarterbacking and getting the right coach with the right quarterback and getting the fit right and everything. You know, I'm starting to think if the coaches, I'm not going to say they're obsolete, but are the coaches really the linchpin behind it? Is it the guy calling the signals that's the real reason? You see what I'm saying? Is it the horse or is it the jockey? You see what I'm saying?
I think it's a combination of both. I think you got to have both at the level. So all my stat gurus that's watching the show and y'all say Trent Dilfer was a first round draft pick before y'all start killing me in the comments.
Top 5 pick. Yeah, it was a top 5 pick.
Yeah, he came from Fresno State and he went to Tampa Bay and he won a playoff game before he got to Baltimore. So
right.
That was not his first.
Right.
He's 7-1 in the playoffs. I just want to let everybody know Trent Dilfer is 7-1 in the playoffs. But yeah, I think Tony, I think it's a combination of head coaching and quarterbacks. I don't feel like anybody can truly be successful about one without the other. You see what I'm saying? A good quarterback can make you look like a genius. Look what happened when you got a bad quarterback. Look what happened when you have a bad quarterback.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden it looked like Harbaugh can't coach. They haven't scored more than 17 points without Lamar Jackson in the lineup. It looked like he can't coach, but I think Harbaugh's a damn good coach.
I do. I agree. Hey, TK, what else you got?
And man, look, man, you made it simple. As far as the Jackson stuff, I mean, you know our sentiments. I hated what happened to Brian Leftwich.
Darn shame.
The Washington franchise is about to get sold, and I told Tommy, he was like, well, it's too late. I said, listen, dog, what Brian Mitchell did when he came on our show the other day, he just sounded like the rest of us who aren't apologists for the Washington football team. I don't give a shit if the owner comes in April. I'm firing all the head coaches. I'm keeping the scouts. I'm keeping the GM, and I'm getting me whoever I want to coach to get my team right. I don't need Ron Rivera in them.
Well, the GM hires the coach. You have to let your GM hire the coach.
You let your GM hire someone. He can find. I don't care, because here's what the problem is. You're going to keep them on, and what we might be saying is the toughest division in football. You're the only team that didn't make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Think about it. All of them are in the divisional round. Mm-hmm. All of them are in the divisional round. They are in the final four. So they're not only the top four in this division, they're in the top in the whole NFC. And you over here playing around talking about this, that, and that, and this. Man, the most pivotal offseason is going to be for the Washington football team, because Dallas ain't getting old, the Giants ain't old, and Philly ain't old. There's nothing old about any one of. Usually when the team's winning, you probably like, oh, they got old. Who's old on any of those three teams?
Nobody.
Mm-hmm. Those are young teams. Those teams are built to compete for the next 4 years.
Yep. Hey, listen, I've got to jump off. Yeah, I've got to jump off, takes care of some with the family real quick. I did want to pass this along, everybody. We had a great show last time out with Brian Mitchell. Again, we want to thank Brian for coming on. Some of the best numbers that we've ever gotten for the show. So thank you, Brian Mitchell. A lot of people, some new commenters coming in. My man, Warren Prescott. I'm going to jump off. I want everyone to enjoy the games. Everyone stick around. TK and Jody are going to finish this up. But we're going to be back next week, and we're going to be talking about NFC and AFC championship game.
The 49ers beat the Cowboys. That's what we be talking about.
Hey, when Dallas got to go to Philly.
We wanted to make sure we give Tony his love, man. Give Tony his flowers. But I'm going to jump off, though. I'm going to catch y'all later, though.
All right, Dave.
All
right, Dave.
Tony.
Yes, sir.
What I wanted to say is we talked about Byron Leftwich being fired as an OC for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But what I want to talk about is they let Lombardi go in L.A. for the Chargers, and they use him as the scapegoat for their lack of success instead of blaming who they should have blamed, which is Brandon Staley. How does Brandon Staley still have a job, but you get rid of it? Because when you see coordinators starting to get fired, that means 9 times out of 10 the coach is safe when they start getting rid of their coordinators. Because they use those coordinators as a scapegoat. Look at what they did in Washington. Look at what they did in L.A. So they can save their jobs as head coaches. So what do you feel about that? And why do you feel like they was able to use Lombardi as a scapegoat in San Diego?
Well, first of all, if I'm the type that if you're with me and this is my staff and you with me, when they come and trying to dictate to you who you should have on your staff, then you might as well just tell me to go too. Because I'm not firing my staff. These are my people. These are who I believe in. Now that I can agree with Ron Rivera, even though what you want to fire? No, then you got to fire me too, because unless it's really, 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 really bad, and I was going to make the fire, but when you know it comes from up top, that cuts you off at the knees, Jody. That cuts you. What I always say when we doing stuff, man, I said, man, no. We in this together. Win, lose, or draw, we in this together. I'm not going to go throw you under the bus to make myself look good. I'll come out and tell myself, man, hey, man, this is on me. Now, behind the scenes, I'm going to go at you and be like, hey, man, you got to do blah, 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 blah. But out there, they ain't going to know. They got to know that we together, because they scapegoat. Man, the Rams are hurt. The Rams had so many people out. They had so many different things. They cut 2 running backs. I mean, come on now. They just won the Super Bowl.
I'm talking about, and that was with the Chargers. Remember, they fired the Chargers.
Well, that case, that was national TV, though.
But
that was national TV.
But it wasn't the offense. The offense scored 30 points. Really, it was head coaching blunders in that game. When you give up a 27-point lead in the second half, that's coaching. That's coaching malfunctions.
But it goes back to what you said. Eckler isn't a full-time running back, and that now having a full-time running back hurt them. I hope that doesn't come back on Buffalo. Buffalo not being able to run the ball in crucial situations is nothing but the Chargers on steroids. You know what I mean?
Do you realize Austin Eckler only had 12 carries for 39 yards? He did have 2 touchdowns, but that's not going to cut it in the playoffs. I keep telling people, and I'm an old school guy, man. I'm a throwback guy, man. And I say this all the time. If y'all know me, if you can run the ball and stop the run, especially this time of the year, you have a very, very good chance of winning games.
Yeah, listen, the games that you're about to watch on the NFC side, it comes down to me, it comes down to 3 people: Saquon Barkley, CMC, and Tony Pollard. Whichever one of those 3 have a great day, and Miles Sanders.
But I'll say you leaving out Miles Sanders.
Whoever has the great day, that team is going to win the game because they're going to control the person I think who needs it the most in this order is Daniel Jones and Dak Prescott. Because Daniel Jones and Dak Prescott, they actually can move pretty good well too. But Daniel Jones, out of all the people, him and Hurts are probably they can get out. But Dak Prescott is so dangerous when he can play action and hold the thing, and you guys playing whatever. Dak is very dangerous. What you saw from Dak the other night after they dogged him the whole week, I'm not surprised because I've seen Dak throws one of the prettiest balls in the thing. He had a very clean pocket. Why do you have a clean pocket? Because they were kind of chunking up with the running game, and they was getting them with the misdirection. They were sending them with the wagon, sending the tight end zone. They were doing a great job. Now, will it be that clean this week? No, not against the best defense in the league. But I tell you what, watch Dallas' game. If Dak Prescott has a clean pocket, that game is over because they got the best front 7 in the league, but that back end is not the best in the league.
It don't have to be the best, but they got the kid, the young Polamalu clone back there.
But the young Polamalu on a clean pocket with Dak, he gonna be in trouble.
You do know he made first team. You do know he made first team All Pro. Stefanski, I believe that's his name.
Great.
Please correct me.
And that's great. But can he cover these dudes when the pocket is clean? We're talking about a clean pocket.
We're not playing 7. We're not playing 7-on-7, Tony.
That's what Dak was playing the other day with 7-on-7.
That once again he played a marvelous game. I'm not gonna take that away, but it's a whole different ball game. For the 49ers, listen, man, the 49ers got so many weapons, and they're going to make Dallas press because they're going to score points. They're not going to score 6 points or whatever, 14 points, whatever Tampa Bay scored. You know that they can score points.
I tell you this, folks. Have we not played them last year and not got embarrassed by them last year at home? Came back and made the game tight, had a chance at the end to try to do some kind of thing to win by 1 point. Have we not played them last year? I wouldn't be so confident this year. They know them, and they know that they got embarrassed at home. And in this series, if you watch this series go back a long time. Even though these are 2 players, when you watch this series, is 1 punch, another punch. 1 year, next year. 1 year, next year. 1 year, next year. That's how they've been doing. Now it's Dallas' year to throw that punch because I'm telling you, the winner of this game goes and represents the NFC.
I mean, that's a lot to say because, I mean, I think the last few weeks since Jalen Hurts has announced that he was hurt, the Philadelphia Eagles have been getting completely disrespected. I mean, I don't understand how they get disrespected like they have. I mean, this Philadelphia team is still a very dangerous team. A.J. Brown has a lot to prove. Devontae Smith had 1,000 yards receiving. Jalen Hurts played like an MVP. Miles Sanders was 5th in the lead in rushing that nobody talks about. That defense gave up a lot of points, but we know that Bradbury and Slade on the back end can cover. We know that, and we know they can get pressure on the quarterback. So the way that Philadelphia is being disrespected is out at an all-time high. We got so many people. They got people picking the Giants on the road to beat Philly. Like, we got a lot of people picking.
But you know what? Them picking the Giants is not disrespect, because that rivalry right there, they're only an hour and a half apart. That goes way back. And it goes way back to when, in that rivalry, it doesn't matter who the best team is. That rivalry is such a crazy. That's why you got the thing called Miracle in the Meadowlands. The Miracle in the Meadowlands, when the Giants had the damn lead, and that's the reason why they kneeled the ball down now, right in the pocket, because they tried to run and give it to Zonka, and Zonka hit, and Herman Edwards picked it up in the Miracle in the Meadowlands. There's a reason why that now when you see them going victory formation instead of trying to run the fullback out, is because of that game from 1978. But that game, Deshaun Watson returned the damn punt.
Sean Jackson.
Returned the punt with no time left. I mean, crazy things happen in that game. And is Philly the best team? You damn right they are. But that don't mean nothing in a one-shot thing. It doesn't mean nothing.
So I look at it like this. I think Daniel Jones have improved tremendously. I think he's definitely improved tremendously. But who are you going to trust more, Daniel Jones or Jalen Hurts in that game, though?
Well, Daniel Jones got more playoff wins.
Do he?
Yeah, he does.
He did got one. Jalen Hurts didn't even got one yet.
Who you going to trust? I'm going to trust Philly. I would trust Hurts. But the word is that the man is still kind of hurt. And that's a problem. I think, Jody, that it was going to be a problem for them, because remember, their bread and butter was the lead draw with the quarterback.
Right.
And if they aren't doing that, it changes the whole game for them. And see, with the Giants, the first game was a blowout. Philly dogged them. But that second game, when the Giants didn't beat anybody and Philly played a lot of people, I saw something in that second game that scared me about them. And the only reason why I don't want to play the Giants in Dallas is because in my heart and heart, if Dallas and the Giants won, I'm more afraid of the Giants than I am of Philly. See, Dallas is the type of team, so you know, they front runners. They love being in the front, in the light. But they also are, when you put their backs up against the wall, they come out and fight. And that, to me, is what they need to go to the Super Bowl. They need to be at San Francisco. They need to be at Philadelphia. And we're about to find out if we got ball players. Remember I told you last week? I'm about to find out who the ball players are. Two things shocked me in that game. Dallas with pressure, like I said, up the middle, but their coverage skills are much better than what I thought. Those guys back there can cover.
Can we talk about the elephant in the room that we never discussed in that, going back to that Dallas Tampa Bay game? Can we? I hate to say it, Todd Bowles is not really a good coach.
No, not really.
You got rid of the wrong coach on that staff. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey man, Jody, that's how the things have been working out. He's not really a great coach. It's a great, defensive coordinator. He was a great defensive coordinator when he had the job. But hey man, sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes people are good coordinators. They may not be great head coaches. And you know what Todd Bowles and them did this year, the team was Tampa Bay. That's why I don't get too excited. I look at the mentality on how you play, how you prepare. Tampa Bay ain't got beat like that this year. They did when they laid down. Not in the playoff game. They were getting beat down like a dog. And they ain't been beat like that.
I won't even lie. Outside of y'all missing them 4 extra points, that was one of the most dominating one-sided games I've seen in a long time, especially in the playoff atmosphere. And your team was at home. And they had opportunities. If you go back to the first half, when he threw that interception, they weren't down by much. They could have
down by 6 points.
think about it. They could have kicked the field goal, and the way that y'all kicker was kicking field goals, y'all didn't trust him to. If it got to a game where it was field goal for field goal, y'all wouldn't have trusted him. Y'all would have been going for it on time. Remember, y'all went for it. After a while, y'all like, man, it's 4th and 4. I'm going for it because I don't believe this dude can kick the field goal.
He asked what we think on Brady's gonna do because next year I think he retires. That's just me. If I'm a GM, I'm taking a chance on him.
I'm gonna tell you like this, and I'm this is my last. I got to roll. I still truly believe that Tom Brady is not going to hang it up, because I think if he was going to hang it up, he would already announce it already. Because he's one of those guys that want the spotlight. I can really see him in Miami. I said it before. I know Lamar Jackson is grumbling about Lamar Jackson, but I could definitely see him in Miami's warm weather because he's going to go somewhere it's warm. He's too old to be somewhere it's not. And he got 2 stud wide receivers, and they got a decent offensive line. They got an innovative head coach. I can see him going to Miami.
Tom Brady, if you're listening, hang it up. You are done. Let my boys, let the America's team take you out in the woodshed. Let that be your last and your worst playoff ever.
I'm going to say that wasn't his worst playoff. His worst playoff was against Tennessee Titans, his last game in New England.
Yeah, that one.
But
that
thing
game
about it is,
they had a chance in that game. I remember that game in 19. They had no chance in this game. Zero.
I'm gonna leave with this. As bad as everybody say Tom Brady played this year, that man had 25 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and over 4,300 yards passing.
Pretty bad, huh?
That's horrible. Oh,
we're gonna catch you Monday, and that's when we're gonna have the real Final Four. Not the conference Final Four, but the real Final Four.
Yes, sir.
Tony Kennedy, Jody Coleman out there in the Midwest. We'll see you guys. Take care. Hopefully it works out for everybody. See you, buddy.
Peace.